Well, that's just...
Yes, we want to remove that. Okay, there we go. Hey. Man, I cannot get on this podcast and get started without a hiccup. Okay, before we get started, the reason why I'm getting on here so late is I had a nail in my tire. Now, the embarrassing part of this whole thing is that I got the nail in my tire on Monday. But I noticed that it was a slow leak. And my week was so crazy this week with all the stuff I had to do. Got special stuff. My daughter had a field trip one day. I was leading a Bible study for my church on a Wednesday night, and it was something a whole Bible study I was handcrafting myself with my own notes, and so it was like heavy duty. Like I had videos to play. I mean, I went all out. So Wednesday was no go. Thursday was no go for field trip. So it was basically Wednesdays when I realized that. I'm sorry. Monday's when I ran over the nail. Wednesday's when I noticed that the nail was in the tire. I knew when I did it. I ran over some like construction debris on the road. On Monday, I'm like, ooh, that didn't sound good. That didn't sound good. But I thought, maybe not. It might be good. And then I came out of the church Wednesday night after leading Bible study, and I had a flat tire. So luckily, one of the other pastors there at the church, he carries an air compressor in the back of his car. And he was able to pump my tire back up and get me back home. So me being me thinking, all right, do I go somewhere right now and get this tire patched? Well, I got to get home and I got to do this and I got to do that. My daughter has a field trip tomorrow. So maybe if I just go home and put some air in it, drop it off at the church, go to the field trip with my daughter, because our church, and there's a school that we have that's also attached to it, awesome school, elementary and middle school. And she's a part of that school, so I just jump in and go on their field trips whenever I want, because I can't. So anyways, we were going to Legislative Hall for the state of Delaware, and she got to meet the governor and our representative, which also happens to be one of our pastors, our senior pastor at the church. And just so we got the first, cool treatment. So anyways, I'm like, you know what? I'll do it after Thursday. And then Thursday comes and goes. I'm like, I'll do it when I get home Thursday from the field trip. And then Thursday night, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I'm just going to stop and top it off and put some more air in it. Woke up in the morning. It was almost flat. I have an air compressor here in my house. 7:30 in the morning, my neighbors were loving me because of my laziness, because of all that. I went out and I'm pumping my tire full of air, compressor shooting out, and it's just dead quiet here in town at 7:30 in the morning. Because apparently I'm the only one who's up at that time, and I'm just waking up the whole neighborhood running an air compressor. Put enough air in it, go get my stuff done, and finally decide, you know what, I got to get air in this tire because it's getting worse and worse and worse. So on my way home from the church, wait for my daughter to get done with school, grab her, stop on the way home and patch it myself. And as I'm patching it, I'm listening to my favorite podcast on Fridays, Heather Just Create, or the Level... the Couples Table with Tom Buck and Heather. Awesome stuff, man. What an awesome way to start your weekend. But I'm listening to them as I'm changing my tire. I missed half of it because the air compressor was on and, it just wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to go back and list that later. But anyways, got that done. By the time I get it done, because we tripped breakers, running the air compressor, we did all kinds of funny stuff. But anyways, I get home right around 5 o'clock and I'm like, I got a podcast to do in 30 minutes. And I'm just now walking through the door. And oh my gosh. So anyways, here we are. We made it. But it took me 10 minutes to get started because I realized some things that I didn't like about the last podcast. If you noticed, watching back in that video, there were some sync issues. Video and audio was not synced. And I'd never had that problem before. I use EVMux for my live streaming software. And so that came out of nowhere. And I've always used the free version. And it was awesome. But this time I used the paid version so I can get 1080p for you guys. I wanted to give you guys something good, and you guys support the channel. So I put those funds into making it a better, just a little more quality in here, and just thought we're gonna level up this time. So I went up in price, and then I had lag. First time I ever had an issue with my live stream. It was like a kung fu movie for most of the video. So I downloaded it and synced it, and I think I reposted. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've done it. I don't know if I've reposted it or not. I pulled the audio-only podcast. I wanted to get it up, but I have to figure out how to create another audio-only podcast. And maybe some of you guys watching tonight know how to do that. Like I have a podcast, Coffee at the Cross, on Anchor FM that goes out to all the major podcast platforms. I went to go create a new one for Level Up, and it won't let me. It's like I got the one. So do I have to create a whole new account just for that one podcast? I don't know. So I got to figure that out. So I apologize for that. The audio versions of these podcasts will be posted. I'm going to get that done this week. I promise. I promise. My hat's even crooked. I'm so jacked up today. Anyway, so here we are. Excited. I'm excited, man. Whew, what a good, awesome week for content creators. I'm telling you what, I've just been sitting back, and there's been a lot of networking going on, if you haven't noticed. Have you noticed yet? Man, there's just been an explosion of creators just networking and connecting and getting revitalized and restored. It started with NAB. A lot of the yes, I said NAB for you people that say, oh, you can't say NAB. It's NAB. No, I say NAB. I want to say NAB, and I think I say NAB just because people don't like it. That's how it worked. But people come back from NAB, Tom Buck and Audio Hotline Bronson and Mark Bennett and all them, and they were just talking about. At Heather, talking about how it just revitalized them, re-energized, because, we're all in the same space, but we don't really connect like that. And then when you see someone in person and they become real, it just reminds you that you're not alone. And this last 2 weeks has been like a really, as Bark put it on his podcast, a love fest the last 2 weeks of just all of us loving on each other, giving each other some encouragement. And man, what an explosion that has been. I've been very touched. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. And I'm not good with this kind of stuff. My wife says you always get so emotional about it. It's because I'm just not. I don't have a high opinion of myself. This is just how I am. And I've seen some podcasters out there, mainly Clay Allen Chronicles, just someone getting started, having low confidence in what he could do, and just needed that, needed that encouragement to get started and get going. And I'm like, you know what, this guy. He's so awesome, and his presence is so awesome, and he's so sincere and genuine with whatever it is he says. I'm gonna just do whatever I can to push him on my channel. He needs to be heard. He needs to be seen, and that's one of our first topics we're going to talk about tonight in our podcast. And I really hope you guys join in on the chat with your contributions on these topics, because I really want this to be a group topic here and see where you guys are at on this and what your thoughts and what your processes are. But we all know until you get to 1,000 subs, and even a little bit shortly thereafter, because I'm in that. Decided to get into. I started a YouTube channel 2 years ago. That's what the last episode was about. Not going to get into it, but my first year, I wanted everything to be perfect, and I held on to so many videos, and what we got here? Oh, we got hand pink waving. Sure. Okay. All right. Love to know what that means. I'm out of the loop here on that one. Am I old school? I don't know. Hand pink wave. All right. Oh, hand pink waving emoji. Okay, I gotcha. It's been a day. And who else we got here? Hey, as we get started, Chad. Man, Chad's Adventures. Love that stuff. You're not helping me, man. I am a fishing enthusiast, not an expert. I don't even want to say fishing. I am a fishing enthusiast. I'm not a catcher. That's why I said we call it fishing, not catching. Man, I love to fish. But man, when I get in, I get all in. I go on in off the deep end. And I really haven't been able to get out yet. And I was watching your last podcast you did where you were even talking about it, where the weather just hasn't been warm enough yet. The weather outside has been warm, but it hasn't been warm enough, long enough for the water to get right. And where I like to fish in town when I'm on, I live right next to a creek, to a dam, and like a mill dam. And it's a great hot spot for largemouth bass. Of course, it's tidal water, so they don't get too big. It's not a pond or anything. I think the biggest fish I ever caught in there was like 5 pounds. And that was on the pond side of the dam. And on the other side, I think the biggest I ever caught was 3.5. But anyways, I like to stop there, but because it's so cold, it's hard to get any bites there. I have to go, if I want to go fishing when the weather's like this, I got to get on my kayak and go in the creeks and away from the wilderness where no one else really goes. And that's usually where I get my action. But I'm trying to hold off. I got so much to do, man. And I was watching your podcast and I was like, I got to go. Maybe I'll skip this week's podcast and go fishing. Like, no. Stay focused. So, anyways, Chad, love your podcast. Thank you for having me on. I had a great time. Can't wait to do it again with you. Talk fishing next time. Educate me because, I am, like I said, a fisherman, not a catcherman. So, Chad, glad to have you here. Who else we got? We've got, I hit my button too quick. Eli, is it Eli? I want to make sure I said that right. You're awesome, Mike. Love you, man. You have a great heart, and I could see that. Thank you so much, man. That's kind of what we're going to be talking about today is, we all have this low opinion of ourselves, and I just wanted to boost other people up this week. And the response that we got this week from those posts and just reaching out with other community members, and then, they were sharing stuff that I was doing, and I was sharing stuff they were doing, and we just saw literally the tide raise all boats this week. And the thank yous and I was sitting there, like my wife's been sitting there, and I sit on the chair at my Chase Lounger at night, and I'm listening to your guys' podcasts. Love you guys. And she's like, every other podcast, she was just sitting there, and I'd like to give a special thanks to Mike Newman for this and Mike Newman for that. She's like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I'm just I just encouraging some people and posting their stuff. I didn't think it would have this effect. I mean, who am I? I'm just, 1,500 subscribers in 10 months, but I'm still small. I'm still, 10 months, yeah, but compared to Tom Buck and Audio Hotline at Bronson Audio Hotline, Bronson Audio Hotline, and all these other guys, just a drop in the bucket. Bart from Obscure Mics, man, they're all awesome. So, what can I do? Just encourage each other, and it's been awesome to see all of us working together to get each other going, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I am so awesome. Eli, you said my name perfect. Thank you, man. It's so important to say someone's name right. My daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, of all people, her name is Madison. We call her Maddie. She loved Maddie. Now all of a sudden she's 10, so it's not Maddie anymore. It's Madison. And she gets so upset when we call her by her wrong name, and it's crazy. It's crazy. We have new checkout machines at our church. When you come in, you check in, and it puts a name tag on you. And I was putting the names in, so she was getting mad at me because the first time her name was spelled with a Y instead of Maddy. She's like, Dad, that's not how they spell my name. I'm like, all right. So I went in the next week and I spelled it Maddie. She's like, Dad, that's not my name. I want Madison. The next week I put in Madison. I'm finally back out of the doghouse. So it's important to say people's name right. And my daughter reminds me that all the time. And she's my daughter. I got to remember, Madison. So, Eli, thank you. It's very, very awesome to have you on the show. It's going to be a great night, man. I'm really excited. I want to talk about a couple of things tonight. Number one, before I get started, because I forgot to do this last week, it was my first show. It was a hot mess. I'm so sorry. Like the first 20, 30 minutes, super focused. And the last 30 minutes, it was just, I felt like I was just regurgitating the same stuff, but I was so nervous. I wanted to do a good podcast for you guys. So I apologize if it got a little, repetitive at the end. So I wanted to stay focused. I wrote down some notes this time. And hey, look at this. I love this. Mary Loveland is with us with her son, Mike Jr. He was like that too. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, we're not alone in all this. Thank you for joining us tonight, Mary and Mike Jr. and Mike Sr. if you're there. I know them personally. They're just awesome family. Awesome family. I'm telling you, if you don't have a family like that in your lives, you're really, really missing out. All right, back to the topic. All right, before I get lost again, this podcast, I'm sitting here trying to figure out a name for this thing. Do we just say Mike's Podcast? Level Up Podcast? Members Only Podcast? I mean, this eventually will be a members only podcast, but I didn't want to make it members only in the beginning. I mean, you're asking, I'm asking people to sign up and become a member to enjoy this content. But to me, I want to know what I'm getting. I want to know what I'm paying for. So I want to do this for a while, for, maybe a month or two, where it's free for everybody. And that way everybody gets to see it. And then they can decide, you know what? Yep, I'll pay $1.99 to catch Mike every Friday or every Thursday. That's another thing we'll talk about, whether Thursdays or Fridays are better for you guys. And so I just want to find the right place and the right name for this thing. And I love community stuff, and I love doing it as a team. I love sharing it with you guys. I like ownership of a family and over stuff. So I want to be able to name this podcast, but I don't want it to be me that names it. I want it to be you guys that name it. So throw in the comment if there's whatever ideas you have along this show, if you just were say something and it just hits, because sometimes the best names are the ones that just come naturally. We're not trying to. It just, something happens and it becomes a thing. So if you have a name, put it in the comments, and we'll see if we can't nail this thing. So for right now, I just called it Mike's Podcast, the most unoriginal thing ever. And Mike is, I mean, we've got 2 mics in the chat tonight already. In one household, 2 mics. So there's a lot of mics out there. So I don't don't know, leave it Mike. I'm not sure. Level up Mike or level up with Mike. I'm thinking that something shorter. It's like level up with Mike Newman seems a little long. Truth be told, like when this first thing started, I just wanted to be level up. That's it. But when I went on YouTube and started, who else is called level up? Man, is that list long. I'm like, well, how do they know it's me? I don't want to put my name in it. Like, I'm not nobody. Like, no one's going to tune in but you know what? It was the only way I could differentiate myself from everybody else. So I didn't put Mike Newman in there because it was, hey, man, look at me. It was more like level up with Mike Newman. Oh, which level up? Oh, with Mike, that guy. Yeah, that's the one. So that's the only reason I put my name in there. And I'd love to get my name out of that thing. I just feel weird. Like, I'm trying to say I'm a big thing when I'm not. So anyway, so I'd like to name the podcast, and I'd love for your guys' help. Level Up Mike, I think, is a good one so far. That's one hitting so far. So just throughout the podcast, if you guys could just throw some stuff out there. When you hear something that just hits right, toss it in there. Just say, hey, podcast name, and put it in there. So, we got someone else joining us. I can't wait to see who this is. Hey, what's up, Harry? Harry, love it. Love it, man. I like that beard, man. He's rocking that beard. It's very nice, man. All right. So I want to talk about a couple things. Number one, what this whole momentum thing has been the last 2 weeks was about how it's hard for people who want to get a podcast starting to get started because we feel like we have to be perfect. We feel like we have to be special. We feel like we have to pop, and I think the problem we have is every time we turn around, everybody measures us against the big ones, Mr. Beast, Peter McKinnon, the guys that are just ultra uber successful, like the top 1%. And it's not enough to just be in the top 8%. What I mean by that is they say that on YouTube, I was looking at it, I forgot how many, like 100 and some odd million people create YouTube channels, have active YouTube channels. But only 8% of them get to 1,000 subscribers. So only the top 8%, Mike on all levels. Ooh, I like that one, Chad. I love that one, Chad. Mike on all levels. Like it. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Man, Chad is killing it with these podcast names. Let's see real quick. Level Up Mike is good. Kind of like On the Level with Mike. On the Level with Mike. Oh. On the Level. Ooh. I'm going to remember that one. Eli. I like those. Me too. I like those. All right. So back to the point of we feel like we're in this tug of war where, okay, I want to get started, and I'm not going to make it unless I'm ascending or pursuing the path of Mr. Beast. And I think for me personally, this is how I feel. Cannot tell you if I'm right or wrong. I haven't been at this long enough. I don't have enough experience with this. I've only been serious full time with my YouTube creation for, less than little over a year now. But I just feel like that is an unsustainable and unhealthy pursuit. There are just certain people that are wired a certain way. Mr. Beast is wired a certain way. Like, that guy does not sleep. Like, Elon Musk is wired a certain way. Like, he doesn't even have a house. If you watch any of his interviews and stuff, he says, I don't own a home. Why? Because it'd be wasted space. I'm always working. I'm always at the office. He sleeps under his desk. He sleeps at friend's house. When he travels, he stops at a friend's house and stays in a guest room. Like, there's just certain people that are wired different. There are people out there that have families, that have full-time jobs. This isn't their only thing. It's their, until they can get going, would we all like to quit our jobs and have this be our full-time because it supplies and provides a full-time income? Absolutely, we'd all like to be there, but none of us start there. And so my question is, honestly, do you guys feel like you are pulled and encouraged, or with the content that is out there, or the people that are giving advice that you got to be that Mr. Beast like level commitment in order to be successful. You got to study your thumbnails, you got to study your analytics, you got to study this, and you got to make this pop, and you got to be super energetic, and you got to have this fire. And I remember in the podcast today at the couples table with Tom Buck and Heather, it was like, some videos and shorts are like, this is the Rodecaster 2, and if you don't have a Rodecaster 2, you got to be able to do this, and if you're not doing this, you're not doing it right, and this is how we're going to, like, that is way too much, too fast. Slow down. And I feel like that's unsustainable. Like, that's burnout territory. It's burnout territory. Chad says, don't hate, but what does Mr. Beast create? I've never watched his videos, but I hear his name a lot. He does these videos where he does, I spent 24 hours in a coffin and see what happens. Or, he does a video where I, gave 1,000 people a new house today, or I put 4,000 bowling balls in a swimming pool, see what happens. Or, we go on this adventure over 3 city states in 3 days, and the winner gets a Lamborghini. Like, it's crazy what he does. And he gets views. They're like $70 million or 70 million views. And he didn't start out that way. Like, if you watch in the beginning, he started out in his, I keep forgetting, his dorm room when he first started college, and he dropped out. He dropped out of college because he knew he wanted to be a creator, and college wasn't going to get them there any faster. And he would just sit in his car while he was supposed to be in college, so his mom didn't know he wasn't there, and make videos in his car. And he would do stuff. But, he used to make videos about just trying to test the algorithm and doing stuff. And he didn't have a lot of money to put into the videos, and he still was successful. But I remember seeing a podcast where he said it, and then I saw it again. I don't mean to keep putting this out there, but like Heather at Heather Just Create did a podcast about this very topic after NAB, where she felt like NAB was trying to, the current state of the content creator economy, the YouTube economy, was that you got to go big. If you're a middle-class YouTuber, if you're someone who's, like us, 1,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers, and you're only getting like 10 to 15,000 views, like, enjoy the ride, but it won't last. You're going to die. You got to be Mr. Beast if you really want to be successful long-term, full-time. And she was just like, that's so not true. Like, that is so wrong and off the mark. Like, we are the majority of YouTube, and it's almost like they're telling us what we have to do in order to be successful, instead of doing what we want to do and letting the people decide if we're successful. And so we feel this tug of war where I want to go on and I want to do my stuff, but I want to get the viewers. And if I want to get the viewers, I need to do what YouTube likes. And I want to be able to be picked up by the algorithm. And we're in this tug of war of, how do I do what I need to do in order for YouTube to find me and promote my stuff and get me on that search bar? But how do I still stay true to myself? And there's that tug of war. And when you start to pursue the things that are outside of your niche, that are outside of who you are and the content you want to create, yeah, you can get success when you start doing those things, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? And I just think more people are going to get burnt out doing that kind of stuff than just having fun and hoping that it catches. And then it's something that you love and you love passionately. And I said passionately so bad, I'm so sorry. Chad says, best advice is be yourself. Exactly. If you try to clone someone or be like someone, it will show through and people will stop watching and will stop, or you will stop recording. Be authentic. People will relate. It is so true. It is so true, because to me, I think we fall in that trap where we see someone being successful, we start making those type of videos just like they make it, and before you know it, we're them. We're not me. I'm not me. I'm this person, and I'm that persona, and it's not who I am, and it's not sustainable. You will get burnout. I want to be here for a long time. I'm not trying to get to 1 million subscribers. I'll be honest with you. I don't even watch my subscriber count now that I got to 1,000. Like, my goals when I first started was get to 10 videos, learn my workflow, make a decision if I want to do this or not. By 10 videos, you're going to know what it's going to take to make a video, the work that goes into it before, during, and after. And, responding to people's comments and staying connected. Like, that's a huge thing. To me, that's the most important thing of all. You make a video, but if you connect with all the people in the comments that reach out and make them feel like they're a part of the channel. And I always say, welcome to the Level Up family, because that's how I want it to be. I want you to feel like you're part of a family, because to me, you are. You're part, like, this is a cool family, and I want to be a part of it. I don't want you to be a part of my family. I want to be a part of your family. So come on in and let's talk in the comments and do stuff. And Mary's right. She's right on it, you know. I want to be able to connect, and I think when you get too big, you don't connect. Like there are channels that I watch that I truly do love to watch, that I started with, that have gotten so big that they don't answer any of my posts. Like I put in there, you know, live stream, whatever it is, I make a comment, but if I'm not like super chatting, like $99 in the chat, like it's the only way that you can get them to read your comments. And not because you want him to read it so you can hear your voice. It's like you want to be part of that conversation. You want a question that you want other people in the chat to answer, and you just want to be a part of something. So now I got to pay like $50 or $99 to get my question read. Like, I can't afford that. A lot of us can't afford that. That's crazy. So I don't want to be that big. If I do get that big, you know what? I want to make sure that no matter what I do, I take the time to communicate with people, to make them feel welcome. And if that means more time between videos, then that's going to mean more time between videos. I'm not going to stick to the once a week thing if I get to a point where I'm not connecting with the people that are watching the videos. It's very big to me. Harry says, on YouTube, many people start with fun and later they're grinding only for fame and money. Exactly. And I think that's a good point, because that was my next point. It says right here, NAB, Mr. Beast or quit was my note. Mr. Beast or quit. It's unsustainable for most. It's unending madness is what I wrote. His episodes, listen to this. Mr. Beast episodes now cost him, and this was him saying in an interview, $1 to $3 million to make for one episode on YouTube. That's insane. Awesome that it's that big, and that, you know, he's getting all this money and he's not hoarding it. He's put, like he said, I hardly keep any of the money that I make on YouTube. I always put it back into my videos. But there's a level of like stress that goes with this. Like, in order to make, okay, I've gotten this big. Now people expect big. Therefore, I have to keep doing big, and I can't get less. Like, every video now has to be 70 million or it's a failure. 30 million views or a failure. For me, on my niche, like, I think for YouTube videos, and I've been looking at a lot of people from Tom Buck to, you know, has 140,000, 150,000 subscribers, to Bronson at Audio Hotline. He's got 20 plus. And I think generally, to me, the number success for views that I measure of outstanding, like home run, Mike, you did a great job. Anything over 10,000 views is home run for me. And it's like that way in this niche of gear reviews and tech reviews. There's just not many people out there that are willing to watch the 15th video on your channel of a 15th different mic. Most people that are watch a video, they pick a mic, and then they move on to their content creation and start watching other stuff. So, you know, I'm never going to post a video about a microphone and get 30 million views. Just not going to happen. I'm never going to post a video about a microphone and get 50,000 views. It's just not going to happen. Not in this niche. But I'm not doing it for the fame. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the love. And I want to be able to make money so I can do this more, so I can still support and take care of my family. But here's the danger that all these people make that stress them out. Once they start having this success, once they start doing more stuff on the money that they make, they start buying things. They buy a nicer car. They buy a bigger house. They start buying things for rewards and treats, because it's a grind. YouTube is a grind. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, if you're passionate about it, it's a grind. It's stress to think about the next video. Make sure you're not thinking, all right, I want this video to be huge. I want it to have 50,000 views. That's not my mindset. It's like, all right, which video can I make that they're going to want to watch? What video can I make where it's going to answer a problem? It's going to solve someone's problem, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, whether it's a life thing or a gear thing, I want to be able to provide something that makes somebody, when the video is over, them say, man, I'm glad I caught that episode. That was so cool. I'm in a better mood now, man. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Like, whether it's your own YouTube channel, I don't care if you're making YouTube content on art, fishing, microphones, whatever it is. I hope when I'm done with my videos, it's like when you get off here, it's like, man, oh, hey, I'm one step closer to getting what I want, to understanding what I need to know, or just having the motivation to go out and do it. That's how I make my videos. It's never about getting to a certain number, a certain dollar amount. But if the money comes, my mindset has always been and always will be, I live my life by this motto, and I tell this to my kids all the time. I have one kid who's 26. I have another one who's 20, getting into that phase where he's trying to get out and get his full-time career going and get his own house and, get married and get his own house and stuff like that. He's been with the same girl for 6 years, all through high school, sweetheart. I love this girl. She's my own daughter. She's my own blood. And he's trying to do it right. He's like, Dad, I want to be able to do this and this and this with her. And I said, well, here's the thing. There's two ways you can live your life. You can go out and get the job that pays a lot, that makes you miserable. But you can get the car you want, the house you want, all that other stuff, but you're still miserable. Or you can get the stuff, go get the stuff that allows you to have the job that you really want, that makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, you spend more time on the job than you do at home. It's just the facts. We wake up, we go to work, we come home. 5, 6 o'clock, you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife gets up at 5. I get up at 6 or 7. We're out the door by 8. We're getting home 5:30, 6 o'clock. I come home for naps because of my illness, my syndrome that I have. I get like 4-hour windows before I fade and got to come home, take a nap, and then I go right back out. Come home, take an hour and a half rest, then I'm back at it for another 4 or 5 hours. But we spend more time on the job than we do home. So why make your job a high-paying job that makes you absolutely miserable for 80% of your eyeballs open day, for a house that you're hardly in, for a car that you're barely in? Like you're in your car to go to work and come home, and then you're in your house. So how much time did you spend in your car? Unless you're in LA, not long. LA is what, an hour and a half commute? I've heard horror stories where it could be over an hour or 3 hours. But like I'm in I grew up in Detroit, lived in Detroit, lived outside the city, like 5 minutes from the city line, and traffic was horrible. It took us, 35 minutes to go 5 miles because all the traffic lights in the traffic. And I moved to where my wife's family is in Delaware because it is just beautiful open country. I mean, it's just, there's no traffic lights. It's open country roads. 80% of the roads don't have lines on them. Man, you can just go somewhere and get there and just windows down and, I just love it. I love it. Everybody's raising their hand and waving at people instead of Detroit where you're raising your hand and doing some sign language using only one finger. Love it. I love it. So that's why I moved out here. Slower life, easier life, more relaxed life. So it's just, I want to have a life where I'm not spending my money on things that I spend little time doing. I want to be able to enjoy my life. That's what I want to be able to do. Chad says here, I honestly just love making videos and sharing them with others to enjoy. At the same time, I'm providing a way for me to remember what I did. Keeps memory strong. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny, sometimes we just sit down and go back and watch the videos from a year ago just to see what we thought of certain things, like our opinions change on certain things. It's crazy. What Harry says here, it also depends on your country's demographic also. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So anyways, it's just, for what I was trying to get to with my content creation is, even if I get big, I want to only invest in the things in my life that I can sustain if I get small again. I don't want to chase the rabbit. I don't want to be the horse with the rabbit or the horse with the dangling carrot in front where I'm always chasing that next video because it has to be big because I was big, I got the house, I was having success, and now people are starting to tune off. It's like YouTube is like TV. Think about it. And it's becoming TV, honestly. YouTube is becoming the new platform that everybody goes to for entertainment. Like my daughter watches nothing but YouTube videos on the main television in the living room. That's all we watch. We rarely are on TV, the old syndicate cable shows, all that other stuff. That is a thing of the past. Everybody goes to YouTube for what they watch. And we all create stuff, but at the end of the day, we're like TV shows, honestly. People go to us, they want to sit down, they just want to unwind, watch something, laugh, love, cry, get angry, throw something. That's sports. They just want to relax and an escape, but everything has a shelf life. It does. So whether it's my favorite shows or everybody loves Raymond. My favorite shows were Battlestar Galactica, the new one and the old one, but whatever it is, Star Trek. I'm throwing myself out there. There's certain shows I just absolutely love. But after so many seasons, it gets stale. There's so many ways you can only write a story and the characters, and after a while, it gets worse and worse and worse because there's not as much stuff to do. But everything from Seinfeld to Friends to whatever has a shelf life, and people move on. So nothing lasts forever, not even the most successful stuff. They're going to want to just try something different. They're going to just, eventually, it's going to wear on them. So it's important for us to be in this space to provide something, but allow yourself to grow and move and pivot when you need to and change things up, because we're like on the same, like a parable. We're not actors. We're real. We're live. We're reality TV, so to speak. But we need to treat ourselves. Remember, like actors, the shows are canceled. The shows may be different. The times may change in which people want to watch. The stuff may change. The content they're looking for may change. But the actors go from one show to another. All right, that show, ran its course. It's done its time. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this show and I'm going to do that. The same as for us. Like we can do a show on, I do a podcast on equipment and gear reviews. Now that's something where every year something new comes out. So, it has a better chance of longevity because we're not going to stop making gear. But there's going to come a time where I may get tired of this and I want to be able to pivot. So it's important to create and create to create something where my heart changes and I pivot, but I want to create a community that goes with me along the way. So I'm doing Level Up, and like we've got people in our chat right now. Chad's Adventures, he does a podcast on fishing, and he's here. And then, Harry, let me know what it is that you normally watch, and if you have a channel, I'd like to know in the comments down below. Eli, same for you. Clay Allen's Chronicles, like he does one where he just talks about life and philosophy and like putting things in proper perspective and life experiences, and it just kind of helps me cleanse my palate and clear my palate and get my headspace right and just remind myself what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what matters most. I love his channel. I encourage you guys to subscribe to that. Just great stuff. But I just want to be able to create a community where we're so connected that if I decide tomorrow I want to start making a podcast, I'm not going to do this, make a podcast about Squishmallow pillows. And I'm only saying it because my daughter's always, wherever we go, even like today, it's like Squishmallow this. Can I get a Squishmallow? I need to do a Squishmallow. And I was just in her room on my way up to this podcast. I'm looking and her whole floor is covered in Squishmallows. Like she's got to clean her room. That's why Squishmallows are in my head. But if I want to create a podcast about something else, they're going to come. They're going to want to join. They're going to want to follow. So, and that's all it is. I want to build a community, and this is the niche that I'm in, but I wanted to be able to have a relationship with them that I could move on. So I want to be able to, and my point being this, and I'll circle back to this because Chad has actually just made a comment here, and I see it in the chat, and I want to bring this up here in a second, that relates to this very topic. I want to create stuff where people outside the niche still want to be a part of it. But there's going to be a time when people don't want to watch it, or people may move on, or I may move on. And again, I want to start a new channel on a new topic, and I'm going to have to start from scratch. I want to be able to have a lifestyle that if this thing crashes and I'm back to 500 views on a video, I'm okay. I'm okay. I want to be able to make the stuff I want to make when I want to make it. I don't want to make the stuff that keeps me in the algorithm. I don't want to be the creator that keeps making videos that get me 70 million views. I want to keep making the videos that makes me happy, that makes you guys happy. So I don't want to get so big that I'm buying stuff and creating a lifestyle that I'm going to have to keep chasing the Mr. Beast template in order to keep my life going. I don't want to do that. So I want to stay, and I've always been like this. This is not something, well, it's easier said than done. Like, well, my entire life, I'll be honest with you guys, I am 46 years old, and I have never in my entire life, me personally, had a brand new car off the dealership floor. I like to buy old. I like to buy older cars, a little more mileage on it, cars that I could work on. I could, low payments, no payments, save my money, and when it breaks down, I can go fix it. And it's a car I don't need a rocket science degree to go fix. Like my truck I have in my backyard. It's not my backyard, I'll let a friend use it, but I got to get back. '97 Dodge Dakota. I mean, that thing makes more noises than my body does. It's like crazy. It's crazy. But I love it because I can work on it. It's easy for me to understand and fix. But I don't have any car payments, which means I don't have the stress of making sure certain bills are paid. Like my wife and I live very humble lifestyle because we don't want our marriage to fall apart over money, because money is the root of all evil. Money is what stresses us out. Money is what drives us into terrible places, even for us content creators. Money, money, money. It drives us into unsustainable places where we burn out. And we've always made that commitment that we're just not going to have that lifestyle. We're never going to buy the home that we can barely afford, where we just don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And it saved us because 3 years ago, I ended up getting a sickness, POTS syndrome, and like 4 other illnesses with that. And I had to step down from my job in HVAC. We were making good money, and I've lost like 60% of my income because I can't work anymore like that. My body only lasts 4 hours, and then I got to stop and unplug. And even when I'm going for 4 hours, I can't stand for too long. I can't sit for too long because it's a circulatory condition that affects my heart. So stuff stops working like it should. My body doesn't cool itself off in the summer. So I sweat and pass out easy or fall over easy. I can't eat like everybody else. I've got to, I eat like 2 crackers, peanut butter crackers, those little snack crackers, and I'm full. And my wife's always on me because if I try to eat normal, like she's like, that's going to hurt you. Last night I had a bowl of ice cream. My sugar goes crazy now. Like my day was ruined. It took me half a day to get going this morning. I struggle. So I can't go out there and make the money that I used to make. But because my wife have always lived this lifestyle, we went from having a lifestyle where we had a whole bunch of money on the side to go do whatever we wanted to do and do the stuff we wanted to do. But now, at least that I've lost this, we're still okay. We're still above water. We're living paycheck to paycheck, but we haven't lost anything. We're able to sustain it. And so that's how my mindset is with this YouTube channel. I don't want to get too big and chase an algorithm that makes me pursue this and then crash because people stop watching it anymore, or they get burnt out. And now what am I going to do? How am I going to keep paying this house payment? How am I going to continue to pay for the Porsche or the Maserati or the Lamborghini that I see some of these people driving in their YouTube videos? I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do when this falls through the floor? People stop watching. Oh my gosh. So that's just me. So it's just creating a community and keeping yourself from the stress. Don't chase that algorithm. Everybody wants you to be the next Mr. Beast. Don't be Mr. Beast, be you. Be you, because you're going to find when you're honest and you're genuine, you're going to get people watching your channel from places you never thought of. And I want to post this comment by Chad. He just put here, not to interrupt, and you're not, but I just had a pro fisherman reach out and agree to the podcast. I say just ask and try when creating. Keep to the grind and it'll work out. Thank you, Chad. See what I'm talking about? Like, man, we're growing. We're growing on this podcast. And why? Just because we're talking, having fun, trying to figure this thing out, support each other along the way. We're all going to have life struggles. We're all going to have days where we're burnt out. We don't want to go another step, do another thing. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I need to catch up on some of these comments here before I move on to my next point. Harry says he's into gaming. Did a LP of the new God of War and barely got views. So I'm thinking to replace my current mic and buying the Streamer X at the end of the month. Got the hiccups. I will say this about the Streamer X. Be careful. The Streamer X is awesome. I want one too, but I did notice, and I don't know if they've fixed this yet with firmware. I would look into this. I'll even look into it myself. But like Mark Bennett from Camera Crisis was one. He's a larger channel. He bought the Streamer X, and he noticed that when he was using his camera and everything and making videos through the Streamer X, it was a lag. And it didn't go away until he upgraded to the M2. M1 MacBook, or the M2 MacBook Pro. He had the M1, and the M1 was not strong enough or powerful enough, whatever it was, to do that. Now, that was a year ago, and Rode is awesome at firmware updates to get the bugs worked out. So I would just know your computer and reach out to them. I would reach out to Rode. They're good at answering this stuff. Rode is awesome about customer content. I would reach out to Rode and just tell them what your gear is, and ask them, this is the gear I have. Will I have any lag issues? I would definitely do that. So that's the only reason I don't have one yet is I worry about it because I have an M1 Mac Mini here on my streaming station, and I use an M1 MacBook Pro for the church. My church videos, I do a lot of videos. I make a lot of videos, content for them, do a lot of video editing for, social media. I do video announcements every week where we start the church service and I get up there and I'm just like, hey, everybody, here's our Sunday announcements. Sunday night is this is this. And I got graphics. I got the whole nine. Looks like a commercial. Awesome stuff. But I use my M1 MacBook Pro, and they both handle DaVinci Resolve and 4K editing. Amazing. So for it not to handle the Streamer X, it kind of worried me a little bit, and I just kind of held off on that one. So just check with them before getting that Streamer X so you don't spend $400 on that thing and it's get you glitchy video. Eli said, I blame YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Oh, absolutely, for the shortest attention spans. YouTubers are not quantum computers. I agree that they are humans. Absolutely. Eli, good point. I'm glad you mentioned this because that's another thing. I noticed too that doing research going into this with YouTube shorts versus videos and how to get people to stay for long form content, you really got to get them in the first 9 seconds, because I noticed this stat and I forgot which research paper I read on this. It's legit. It was cited, but they did a paper where the attention span of a human being is 8 seconds. 8 seconds. You want to know what the attention span of a goldfish is? 9 seconds. We have a less shorter attention span than a goldfish. I remember after I'd done a video promo for Earthworks microphones. It's on my channel. It's on their website as well if you want to check it out. It's just a 4-minute video about the Earthworks Ethos, which is the microphone I'm using now, and the Earthworks SR117 for singing and vocals. I did a video where I kind of threw them both in there about why they're really great microphones. And he noticed it. The executive vice president noticed it. Mike, I forgot what his last name is. Oh my gosh, on the spot. But Mike had noticed it, and he gave me a personal phone call to thank me for the video. They didn't ask for it. I didn't get paid for that video. I was just so excited about this microphone. All they asked me to do, they reached out to me and just said, hey, would you mind? We noticed that you're a pastor at a church who used to be a sound guy running the sound for your live worship, and you do a live stream, and you also do a live stream for your church and video production, all that other stuff. And now you're up there on the stage as a pastor, like a perspective and the importance of doing this stuff. Would you be willing to write an article about the importance of EQing live and having the right gear for live performances and even, live streams? I was like, absolutely, I'd be willing to do that. It's just absolutely. So I wanted to do a review, and I wanted to get a microphone. And so I bought the SR117 to do a video about, if I'm going to do the importance of having good gear, might as well get a microphone to do good gear. So I bought my own microphone for the review, and I made the video, and I posted it. And just because I loved Earthworks, I was like, man, to make the video, I bought the microphone, tested it out, and I loved it so much. I'm like, man, I need to make a video about this. I love Earthworks microphones. They're expensive, but I know they're expensive. They're crazy. I think the budget one's $200. They can go up to like $1,500 for some drum mics and instrument mics. It was crazy. But this one, I think the Earthworks Ethos is $400. I know they're crazy expensive, but I loved it so much I wanted to make a video. So I made a video about using the microphone. I wanted people to hear it. I didn't want to just write an article, so I made a video instead of article. They had no idea. Made it. Mike from Earthworks gave me a personal phone call. Love that company. It was so awesome. Spent like 40 minutes on the phone with him just talking about life. Wasn't even about just life. But he said what he loved about the video was he has terrible attention span. He said, I have terrible attention. It is hard to get him hooked. And yet he was hooked. And that's society today. Like, we're trying to get into this space, and the people's attention that we're trying to get, they have short attention spans. And he said it himself, I have a short attention span. So you got to be really intimate. You got to be real personable sometimes for people to get hooked. I think everybody's caught on to the cookie cutter intros, that YouTube shorts, and this high energy, trying to just cram it down their throat as fast as you can, that people are getting turned off by it, that we've lost our personality. So I think when people are personal and genuine, that's what sticks out now. oh wait, this person isn't just throwing something in my face. It sticks out. And I think YouTube Shorts and TikTok have a lot to blame for that. Like, people just don't want to pay attention for longer than a minute. They just don't. And then if you're like me, I end up finding myself on YouTube Shorts, not because I seek them out, but when I go to YouTube, they're right there. And it's a catchy slogan, and it's a catchy thumbnail, and I catch myself clicking on it. Before you know it, 30 minutes have gone by, and I am super frustrated because every video, by the end of 1 minute, I'm like, I don't feel like, what was the point of that video? I need more. I need more. Wait a minute. Don't stop. Don't stop. So it's like 30 minutes of quick, gotcha, but 30 minutes of quick frustration. It was crazy. So yeah, YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Oh my gosh. Harry says, yeah, the brain rot. Oh my gosh. Brain rot. That's what it does. It sits you there and you don't really get anywhere. Eli says, I'm a writer, visual artist, and a teacher. I'm in the process of deciding how to bring that to an online audience. I think that would be cool. Honestly, if you're a writer and a visual artist, comic books. I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but like, and I'm not trying to get spiritual on you guys. Like, I'm a pastor, and like, we do a drawing for our kids in children's church. If you attend, every week that you attend, you get to put your name tag in a bucket, and we do a drawing. And the prizes they get to win a Bible. And we have a regular Bible, and then we have like comic book Bibles with action Bibles, and it's the graphics and the visuals and the letters and the popping, and like, the kids jump all over that. And I jump all over it. Like, I want that one. I didn't want to give it to them. I wanted to keep it. Graphic stuff, the graphic stuff is what capture my attention. I'm tired of the cookie cutter writing and everything being in that newspaper article, and I'm tired of just the same stuff being talked about. Man, I want new stories. I want fresh ideas. I want fresh roads and the graphics and the visuals to go with it. I love that. So I think being a writer, a visual artist, and a teacher, that's a great combo right there to create something. That's something I would definitely be interested in. Do a video where you could do a video of you creating, showing people how you create. What I'm trying to think. Man, my brain is falling apart here on a Friday. A comic book loop, like a video loop, a graphic novel. Telling a story with pictures and stuff like that. And as you're drawing the picture and doing each page, you could just talk with them as they're doing it. And then every week you're talking with them as you're making the pages. And then you make a video of the finished page and you're narrating it as they're saying it. Like Star Wars Theory, you ever see that channel? If you guys are out there, he got started and got big on graphics. Like he would read the graphic novels on his YouTube channel. And people would sit there and listen to it. They could see it. They could see the words. But just to have music with it in the background and someone reading it to them, they could like sit back and listen to it and check it out as they're reading it. It's really cool. So I think that's a great combo to start something. Let's see here. Eli said, when you decide on the path to take, your background will serve you well. Absolutely. See, that's what I'll say. Your background is going to serve you well. You are creative and you know how to teach and explain what you are doing and why. Kudos. You got the goods. You got the tools in the toolbox. The garden's got some fruit and veggies in there, man. Now it's time to pick it and start making some content with it. Feed the masses with it. Chad says, yep, no one will search for a YouTube short or TikTok video a year later, but they will on long-term videos. Nailed it, Chad. I cannot remember the YouTube shorts that I watched yesterday, and that was yesterday. But I can remember YouTube videos that Bark made on a certain piece of gear last year. I can remember a YouTube video I watched of a content creator a year ago. There's just certain videos that hit you and stick with you, and you go back and watch them. They change you, they affect you, and you jump all in. And man, like, that's the stuff. To me, long-form content is where the connection is made. If you want to think about it this way, I always consider YouTube shorts are like ice cream and like M&Ms in a jar, and long-form content is the meal. Like when you go out to Texas Roadhouse, I don't know if you guys have a Texas Roadhouse where you are, but there's certain restaurants you just love to go to because of the meal, the experience. Like I go to Texas Roadhouse not because of the steak or whatever. I just like that atmosphere. The nuts you get to crack and you're eating them, and it's low key, it's open. You get to enjoy a steak in there every now and then, but everybody's just talking. It's just awesome. It's the experience that I love to go out. It's not the food. And I think that's long form content. It's the experience you have while you're there. And you want to go back to it. And YouTube shorts to me are like, a bag of Skittles. Like I don't know. If you eat too many of them, Sour Patch Kids, you eat too many Sour Patch Kids, your taste buds go numb and you don't want to eat them no more. So yeah, that's shorts versus long form content. Absolutely. Eli saying to Chad, thanks for the love. Absolutely, man. We got to support each other. We got to lift each other up because let me tell you something. When you're first starting out, YouTube will not help you. They will not lift a finger. They're going to make you do the work. It's through people and networking that help you grow. Chad, anytime, absolutely. And Eli, thank you, Mike. Absolutely. Takes a village, brother. It takes a village to get through this. So I just wanted to share that. Like, where do you feel with the algorithm? And I posted this in the poll, so I'll close with this because we're at it. Or no, we're not at an hour. Are we at an hour? Yeah, we're at an hour. Oh my, are we at an hour? Dude, you guys are awesome. I love you guys, man. This is flying. The poll I posted this week and you guys responded to, and it was kind of split down the middle between 2 of the 3 answers. And one of them was, do you feel like the algorithm works for you? It's there to help you? Or do you feel like you work for the algorithm? Like the algorithm is there and you feed into that and you don't feel like it gives you anything back. And you just got to listen. You got to bow down and worship to the almighty algorithm to get your views. Like I got to create what they want me to create, not what I want to create. And you just go down this trail because YouTube wants to put ads on my stuff. So they just want me to make the stuff that's going to get the most views, not what I'm most interested in. Or you're not sure, but you feel burnt out. I'm not sure what it's doing, but I am burnt out. And that's the thing. And Clay from Clay Allen Chronicles made a great point in last week's podcast. And he said, I try to focus on this one philosopher, and I wish I remembered his name. And Clay, if you're in here, he said he was going to try and make it. He had to run and pick up his daughter, but may not be here before the end of the show. But he said, if money wasn't an object, if money didn't exist, and we got to spend 8 hours it was just, hey, go do something for 8 hours, and that will take care of your family. Didn't matter what it was. You were going to get paid the same no matter what you did. What content would you create? What would you do? That's the answer you run with because you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get overworked. It's going to be tough sometimes, especially in that first year, getting to 1,000 subs. You got to grind and you're not going to get help from YouTube. And there's going to be weeks where you just don't want to. And I think it's important to be consistent, at least in the first year, 1 to 2 weeks, pop a video out every 1 to 2 weeks. Be messy, be whatever. Don't worry about being perfect. Just get in the habit of making a video every 1 to 2 weeks. And that helps you get to 1,000 subs. And then once you're at 1,000 subs, stop and reevaluate where you're at, what you like to do, how long it takes to do it, how often I'm going to post. And I have an actual example out here. It's a channel that I used to watch a year ago. I noticed a video that he did. Again, Chad, speaking to your point, long form content you remember. I was watching a video of his a year ago, and it was talking about a microphone that you should or shouldn't get. And it was a video about how the Shure MV7 is the mic everybody should be buying because it's better for podcasting and you don't have to EQ it like you do the SM7B, but yet everybody buys the SM7B because everybody else has it. But the Shure MV7 is an easier mic out of the box to use, easier for people to use because a lot of people misuse the Shure SM7B or they don't even EQ it and it's made to be EQ. And it was I was just saying, man, that's true. Like the best mic for podcasters is the mic nobody's buying at the time, and that was the MV7, and it's changed. Every year it changes. But he just kept cranking out all these videos, and then a couple of months ago, I think it was December, he switched, and he was at 14,000 subscribers. 14,000 subscribers. A year ago, and his good videos were getting 15,000 views, and his bad ones were getting 500 views. Kind of where I'm at. Like my normal videos get 300 to 500. My successful ones that I get usually once every 6 weeks, I get one that really pops, and that goes to like 10 to 15,000. I think the highest video I've got total is 30,000, but you kind of hit that level where this is the max I'm going to get, and then you're like, okay, then you need to evaluate. This is the ceiling. Is this the content I really want to make? I know I had the niche down to get started. I know I had the niche down to get to 1,000 subs, but now that I'm at my 1,000 subs, is this what I really want to do? And he decided he wanted to do something different. And he's like, all right, I'm now at 14,000 subs. At the time, he made a video saying he was getting ready to make a pivot because he wanted to document it. At this time now, he was at 20,000 subs. And it was that point. I'm at 20,000 subs. I never thought I would get here. But now that I'm here, I want to make something different. Do I start a new channel or do I just pivot on this one? Will these people follow me to the next one? And it's a leap of faith he was taking. And he took it. And then he started making content. And the channel I'm talking about is called Audio Haze. He's got red curly hair. And I don't know if you guys have seen him, but listen to me. In December, he was at 15,000 subscribers. And today, he is at 100,000 subscribers, 104,000 subscribers. What happened? He took a leap of faith and, hey, there he is. I see right there. Clay Allen, glad to have you here. We were just mentioning you, talking about your philosophical quote. What we're talking about right now is making content like you were talking about. If money wasn't involved, finding your passion and doing that. Don't chase the money, chase your passion. And that's kind of what we're talking about. And I'm using an example of a channel called Audio Haze, 15,000 subscribers. He's now at 104,000 subscribers. When he got to 20,000, he switched and he started making content about musicians that he loved and things that they did that were life-changing. This band went to this and this person started making this and this person recorded this entire album on a Audio-Technica 2020, which is a $100 microphone, and he sold hundreds of millions of records or something. Like how he made a whole record on a $100 mic. Like that's what he was doing. Instead of doing tech reviews, he was just talking about journeys, like VH1 behind the scenes kind of stuff, or where are they now? He started making that kind of stuff. He went from 15,000 views per video. I wrote it down. I wanted to share these numbers with you. He went from 15,000 views per video to 249,000 views on that first video where he took that leap of faith. Boom. Same channel, but made a pivot and started following his passion. Stopped following the algorithm. Stopped doing what the algorithm told him he needed to do. Stay in your niche. Stay in your niche. Stay in your niche. He's like, I stayed in my niche. I got to, but I want to grow. He did that. He took that leap of faith. His next video, 291,000 views a month later. So he went from making a video every week to now I'm going to make the content I want to make, but I'm only going to be able to make it once a month because I'm going to do more editing. I'm going to put more passion into it. So now he's making less content, but his views per month went from 20 to 30,000 to 250,000, 291. A month later, 469,000 views for a video he made about another band and the journey they did. 498,000. This is crazy. So again, on March 6th of 2023, 498. March 7th, 143. March 18th, 220,000. You see, they're all like a month apart. And I know I did those out of date, but they're all a month apart. But he's getting like insane numbers because he jumped into his passion. He stopped chasing the algorithm. He stopped doing what YouTube told him he should be doing and started doing what his heart told him to do. So yes, it's important to niche down to get your 1,000. It's important to niche down to get your flow, to find your space and find your community. But once you find them and your heart is pulling you somewhere else, take the leap. Take the leap, man, because look at his channel now. A year ago, 15,000 subscribers, and now he's 104. And he said himself, I never imagined this. He never thought he'd get past 50,000 subscribers. He's at 100. And it takes longer to make videos, but he doesn't get burnout because he's passionate about it. That's how he avoids the burnout. He keeps making videos that he wants to make. He wants to make them, plain and simple. Chad says, bottom line, remember, YouTube is a business, and what they do with the algorithm will always benefit them first. That was my next point. Chad, I swear you were staring at my notes, brother. We have to remember that YouTube will always look at us as meat fodder, like meat for the meat grinder. They don't care how many people they burn out trying to find the next Mr. Beast. There are so many of us. They keep telling all of us to be Mr. Beast, to be Mr. Beast. 90% of us may fail. 99% of us may fail. But if one of us makes it and becomes the next Mr. Beast, YouTube benefits better than anybody. better than anybody, because they got a major show, a major brand. Like Mr. Beast is YouTube, and YouTube is Mr. Beast. It's not us. They need another Mr. Beast, but it's not sustainable. It's not possible for all of us. We can't do that. It's not our lifestyle. We have families, we have friends, we have things we're trying to pursue, a lifestyle. We want the passion. We love to, Chad and I love to fish. I want to be able to fish. I want to be able to go to the movies. I want to be able to, my daughter loves to fish. She's 10 years old. She has been begging me to go fishing for a month and a half. I've had one time, a free time to go take her fishing. And we only went fishing for half an hour because it was too cold. But I'm going to get her there. Going to get her there, but I want to be able to do things. I want to have fun. I need to be able to go outside and touch the grass. And that's what we can't do that. We're not all him. But you know what? YouTube doesn't care. And I love YouTube. They've given me this platform. I'm not bashing them. They're looking out for themselves, and they should. They're looking out for their long-term success. But you and me, guys, all of us here in this chat, we need to be looking out for ourselves too. Long-term. What's sustainable for me? What can I do that I'm doing this in 10 years, in 20 years? And if I just blindly listen to YouTube, I'm never going to get there. I'll burn out before I get there. I might have some success. I might get the success because it works. They're not lying. But can I do that long term? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. You may not be able to do that. I want to be here on the platform making videos 20 years from now. I don't want to be gone in 3 because I did exactly what they did. And a year from now, I exploded and all of a sudden I'm viral. And now I got 1 million subscribers. And now I have to make videos in order to maintain that success because now I've bought cars and houses. And I've created this lifestyle because I want to reward myself for the stresses that I have. We all do it. We want to buy toys and tinker. Now I got to do stuff to maintain those toys in order to maintain this lifestyle, to go on these vacations and still do this stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to be able to make the content I create and have a lifestyle that allows me to still go out and do those things without being Mr. Beast. I want to have a lifestyle where I could take care of my family, pay our bills, have vacations, go out to dinner, go out to a movie, have family time, personal vacations, just me and my wife. 25 years of marriage. We're going on 26. Our 25th anniversary was the first time we ever went on vacation for alone, and even then we only went away for 3 days. I don't want this life anymore. I want to invest and be more time with her and enjoy her more. So I don't want to burn out. Whatever I do, it has to be long term. So yes, YouTube is a business and they're looking out for them and they have no problem. They have no issues burning out 90% of us to find the next Mr. Beast, because for all of us, again, only 8% of all YouTube content creators get to 1,000 subscribers. You're in the top 8% if you have 1,000 subscribers or more. Top 8%. But there are 92% of people that have a YouTube channel that are trying to get there that they see as fertile farmland. Oh, wait, you burn out? We'll move on to the next one. There'll be another one. There'll be another one. There'll always be another one to them. I don't have another me. I don't have another me. All I have is me. I can't afford to burn out. I can't afford to burn out. So, yeah, Clay says, yes, follow what's in your heart, follow your passion, and the rest will come. I have faith in that. Absolutely. Follow your heart. And the success that comes with that, you won't get burnout. You won't get burnout. Yes, Chad, we're all on board with it. Or yes, Clay. Clay saying yes, Chad, to his YouTube business. Absolutely. Spicy Goldfish. Funny you mentioned that because I'm starting to do more voiceover work. I've had some people reach out to me, businesses, local businesses here that want to do things like from anything from making videos for the businesses, social media commercials where I'm going to have my voice in there, but not my face. I had one business reach out and say, hey, you want to do voiceovers for our phone line? So when people call our business and they're on hold, you could make, just, hey, this month's special is this and that. So there's a lot of voiceover work being thrown my way, and I haven't jumped into it yet because I haven't found a microphone that makes me comfortable with my voice. I love the Earthworks ethos. I love that. That's where I'm going to go. However, that's a $400 microphone. The Shure SM7B is a $400 microphone. It's a great professional microphone, the Shure SM7B, absolutely. But it needs to be EQ'd. And they're hard. They're hard if you don't know how to EQ yet, if you're just getting into it to find that right sound. Once you find it, it's magic. It's absolutely magic. But I've had my Shure SM7B. I'm holding this like it's still on here. I took it off. It's right there, the blue one right there. I've had it for over a year, and I still haven't found the right EQ that I'm happy with. There's one that I like more than most, but I still don't. I still haven't had one where it's like, man, I love my voice on the SM7B yet. And I've had it for a year, and it's trying. The Earthworks Ethos is $400. It's a condenser microphone, and I have next to no EQ on this thing. I did turn my compression on, and all I did was bump up my high, like in the Vocaster hub. I'm using the Vocaster audio interface for my podcast. Super easy. It's easy to use as far as, a simple way to EQ your sound. And I've got it running into that. And I turned my processing on, and all I did was bump up my high like 3 dB. And that's it. That's it. That's all I did to it. And this is what it sounds like. And I love the sound. So the Earthworks Ethos is a great microphone for voiceovers. But it's easy to, it's a great sound out of the box. It's better to start with, and it's not as hard to EQ. But before you even spend your money on that $400 microphone, if you're just now getting into voiceovers, because you may not even like voiceovers long term. I was hoping this would arrive today before the podcast, because I was going to use it for this podcast. Is this guy right here. Oh, yeah, turn it around. This is the Rode NT. Can I put it right here? Can you see it now? This is the Rode NT1 Signature Series. My daughter brought it up to me literally 5 minutes before the podcast started. I'm like, can I hook this up in 5 minutes? We could at least do this podcast, how it sounds out of the box. But I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. It's just too much going on. Tire was flat. Changed my tire, plugged my tire, all that stuff. So I haven't used it yet. But this microphone right here is an absolute amazing microphone. In fact, Dark Corners did a review on this one. A lot of people done a review of it. No one's hated it. Everybody loves it. But the title of his review on this one, Dark Corners, is, this is the second microphone that every YouTuber should buy. The first one is the SM58. It's a $100 microphone. If you don't know how to EQ yet, you don't know what your sound is, and you just want to hit the ground running, it's a $99 microphone that will make anybody sound good. It will not make your voice sound bad. Doesn't matter if you're high-pitched, low-pitched, whatever it is. And then when you find out what your budget is or what you want to do, jump into the Rode NT1 Signature Series. He said, out of the box with no EQing, this is a condenser microphone for voiceovers. And Chad already knows me. He knows me. Chad says, you betcha. Next week, I'm going to do a review on this one. I wanted to test it out on the live stream tonight. Might test it out on my live stream next week, make my review of it, and then include it in my live stream podcast next Friday. Clay, I'm hoping that I don't know if I officially asked you yet, probably bad time or awkward timing, but I'm asking you to be on there with me next week, talking about content creation. The Neat King Bee, it's not even $400, is it? Isn't it like the Neat King Bee? $100. Let me take a look. Let's do this. Where is it? Let me add this to the scene here. All right. Where is it? Right here. Okay. Let's look at it. The Neat King Bee. That is a great sounding microphone. I've heard that on everybody's voice, from Tom Buck, who has a high pitched voice, to the Creators Village. I can't remember his name. Deep Voice. Sounded great on his voice as well. Neat King Bee. Oh, I'm not in the right. I'm typing in the wrong bar, wrong keyboard. I've got two computers here because last week I was laggy. I didn't want to watch my YouTube feed to make sure I was still on and everything on the same computer to make sure we were good. Am I laggy too? Is my voice matching? I'm curious about that one before I even get off here. I want to make sure my voice and my video mixed. I reached out to EV Mux personally and to see what was going on. And they are working on it. I sent them my specs and everything to see what was going on. If it was just a glitch, a one-off. Neat King B2. Where are we at? Where is it? There it is. Neat King B2. Yeah, $169. $169. And that's what the NT1 Signature Series is. I have not heard a single bad thing about the Neat King B2. I will say this about the Neat King B2. It is a heavy microphone. Let's look at the specs. How heavy is it? Well, while we're here, let's take a look. The Neat King B2. We got to keep going down, don't we, till we get to the specs. It is well over 2 pounds. I know that. 3.52 pounds, almost 4 pounds. Is that what you meant by 400? 4 pounds? 4.00 pounds, maybe? But yeah, 4 pounds. There are very few mic boom arms that can hold that. So if you have one of those budget boom arms, it's not going to hold it. So that's another microphone where if you buy it, goes on a mic stand, or get it on a boom arm, but you're going to have to get a heavy-duty boom arm that can handle the weight. And make sure when you buy that boom arm that it says it can handle up to 4 pounds. So that's the only downside. That is the only knock that I've ever heard on the Neat King B is its weight. It is a chunky monkey. Absolutely. Eli said, oh, yep, that Neat King B. So, yeah. So, for $169, let me go back to my main screen here. Let me remove that. All right. Yes, we're going to remove that layer. Get me back on here. Yep. So, for me, the Rode NT1 Signature Series, it is a lot lighter. And this is for voiceovers. This, to me, and the whole point of every review I said they did was like, this is a voiceover machine. And for starting out, the NT15, which is the best one they've ever made, USB and XLR. If you're only going to use it in XLR, they say get the Signature Series because it's the sound is nearly you can't even determine it with the human ear, the difference in sound between the NT1 and the NT1 5th generation. This just doesn't have USB, and because of that, it's only $169. So if I had $169 personally, this is what I would go with. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I got that one for $169. Rode did not send this to me. I got this with my Amazon earnings from your guys' support. So I paid for this with my own money. So this video is not sponsored, or the video will not be sponsored. Rode did not send this to me. I'm not big enough yet for Rode to send me stuff. Hopefully someday I'll get there. But for Rode stuff, I got to buy it myself. And I bought it for voiceovers. So hopefully, Eli, I'll have some video for you here. I might make a YouTube short just to spoil it. Hey, this video's coming. Guess what microphone I'm on? And because you watch this podcast, you'll know what the microphone is, even though it'll be hidden. So I'll do something like that, like a tease. So that way you can get that sound. All right. Clay says, I'll be here. Awesome. So hopefully next week, on next week's podcast, next Friday, it'll be me and Clay side by side. And I'll have Chad on here too. I'd like to extend Chad an invitation on here too. We were on a show together, and I just like to be able to talk to him on this channel as well. Chad, if you're still here. That's the price right here. That's the price here. Yep. $169. $169. I love that. I paid $400 for the Earthworks Ethos, and this is my voiceover mic right now, if I had to do voiceover. But it's $400. And this mic is magical. It's my favorite microphone. $400. Hurts. It hurts. So, but I did not pay for this microphone. That's the reason I have it. Long story short, because of that Earthworks Ethos video that I did for I wasn't paid for it. I wasn't asked to make it. I made it on my own. They sent me this video or this microphone because of the video. And they said, you don't have to make a review on it. We're sending it to you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Great video. Loved all the hard work. So it's just a thank you from Earthworks for the video that I made. I'd already made it. Didn't need their permission. And when they sent it, they said specifically, don't make a video on it. Enjoy it. We're good. I'm going to make a video on it anyway because I've never made a video on this microphone. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite microphone. And I'm like, I've had this for a year now. I never made a review on it yet. I need to do that. So, Chad, be glad to, my friend. Oh, excited, man. We've got some fishing stories to tell. And yours are going to be better than mine. You have catching stories to tell. I have fishing stories to tell. Clay Allen, the Ethos. I know. It's so awesome. I wouldn't have it if I had to pay for it myself. I hate it. I hate paying $400 for a microphone. But it's the only microphone so far for me that's worth $400. Now that I have it, if this broke, if I lost it, it stopped working for just random reasons. If someone broke into my house and stole it, I would definitely go back and pay $400 for another one. Easy. Now that I've had it and tested it, it's worth every single penny just because of it is the least amount of work I have to do in a microphone to sound the best. Out of the box, it's amazing. Tom Buck said in his live stream podcast he does with his wife Heather and the couples table on their channel, he said he was going to start using the Ethos now every single week. He was using a different microphone every week, but he says with the Ethos, it's literally plug and play. He sounds amazing with it, and he doesn't have to do anything to it. The other ones, he's got to dial it in. He's got the EQ right, the compression right. The Ethos, you plug it in, and you are golden. It's the least amount of work. So he's using this one more for podcast. I wanted to use, last week I used the Earthworks SR117 handheld mic. That's a $200 mic. Sounds just as good as this. It's a little thicker, though. This one's a little more open. A lot more open information on the top. The Ethos is more closer to the Shure SM7B, $200. If you love that Shure SM7B sound, but don't want to spend $400, the Earthworks SR117 is that microphone. Or the SM57 with the pop filter on it. Don't go by my opinion. What's his name? Krause? Gosh sakes, man, I can't remember names today. Julian Krause he's the Yoda. Like if you're into Star Wars, all of us are content creators, but he is next level genius when it comes to mixing and sound and all the other stuff. He's our Yoda of our Star Wars content creation universe. He's that guy, Jedi Council stuff. And he did a video where he compared the Shure SM57 to the SM7B, and just out of the box, no EQ skills whatsoever, he said these are so close. You get the the A2WS or AWS2 pop filter, put it on the short end of the Shure SM57, and it is an SM7B for $99, and the pop filter I think is $14, something like that. A fraction of the price, and you're going to sound just as good. And this is the microphone that the White House uses when the president speaks. Like when, all those press conferences, it's a Shure SM57. It's what they use, and because they want to sound presidential. They want them to sound good and authoritative. So that's what they use. So yeah, save some money. If you really want an SM7B for voiceovers, you like that sound, SM57, baby. So there's that. Am I forgetting anything? I don't want to keep you guys all night long. I know it's the NBA or NFL draft just started 2 minutes ago. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Yeah. So that was it. Name the podcast so far on the level with Mike. I love that one. Chad named that one. Awesome job. Love it. Oh, and the other question, Thursdays or Fridays, guys, which one's better for you? Like, I'm good for either, but I know Fridays can be like, I'm big on family time, and I'm terrible at doing it. My wife's watching this live stream now, and she's been texting me, giving me pointers because I can wander, I can have squirrel moments, I can go down some rabbit trails, and she's good for helping me get back on the trail. She saved me a couple of times on this podcast alone. But family time is big to me. I love spending time with her. She says I'm annoying sometimes because I get, I hover. But so Friday nights, I don't want to take away family night and stuff like that. I'd like for you to get out and enjoy some time with your families, stuff like that. But if Fridays are good for you, that's good. If Thursdays are better, I'm curious for you guys, which one's better for you? In the comment down below real quick, if you don't mind, which one you'd rather have, Thursday night or Friday night. And if you're watching this after it's live, please don't hesitate to post in the comments Friday night or Thursday night. And I'm probably going to stick to this 5:30 to 6:30 podcast. That way, I don't know, maybe 6:30 to 7:30. I'll let you guys know because I know some of you have to pick up kids and get stuff home, and I don't want you to miss out. Clay, he wasn't able to be here from the get-go because he had stuff to do. So maybe I go back to 7 to 8 or 8 to 9. So if you're watching this podcast, what day of the week and what time? 5:30 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30. Let's start time. 5, 6, 7, or 8. Let's just stick to that, and we'll finagle from there. But I'd like to pick a good time that's good for you guys, that where you all could be here from the get-go, from the beginning. So let me know. A minute, an hour, and 28 minutes on a podcast. This is insane. I love you guys, man. I appreciate all of you, man. And I love the support that we're giving each other. I love that we're lifting each other up. That's the whole point of this podcast was we cannot count on YouTube to lift us up. Like there's so many people out there that are trying that quit before they get to 1,000 subscribers. If they started putting their investing in all those other people before they get to 1,000, half of them would, 80% of them, 92% of them quit before they get to 1,000 subs. So it's wasted energy. So they're not going to help you. And I don't blame them. There's a lot of people out there trying to be big. We need each other. I'm encouraging you that I'm leaving you with this. If you're out there, there's a tab on all of our channels called the community tab. And usually we use it. We've all used it to post stuff to the community about future videos you're going to post, stuff like that. I've changed my mindset with that tab. My community tab is when I see a podcast that people need to hear this. And I've done this with Clay a couple times because he's been nailing it. Chad with his fishing stories and stuff. Like I saw that podcast you did the other day. But if there's something out there that really hits you, that's on point, I put it on my community tab because I want my viewers to know. I'm not trying to keep you guys from other channels. I'm trying to help you find other channels. You know, be part of the village. As Clay always says, man, boost the tribe. You know, let's boost the tribe. So that's what my community tab is for. So Clay says, real quick, before we leave, he's saying Fridays I pick up my daughter after work, hour drive to get her from, oh my gosh. 7 definitely works better, but I'll follow no matter what, do what I have to do. I'm thinking either 8 to 9, like 7 to 8 is probably like my homework time with my daughter. So if it's after 7, it's probably going to be like 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock podcast, 8 to 9. So maybe that's our window. Let me know. Look, this is my wife. Look, I'm trying to tell you guys, and she's like, don't worry about me. You do. She loves you guys, man. You guys have really, she'll tell you, like when I got started with this, she's, YouTube is hard. YouTube is hard. And she's really struggled because she wants me to grow and she wants me to see my reward and she wants to see, the fruit, and she gets frustrated with some of this stuff, and just as a supporter, she can get frustrated. So for her to put that on there, man, that's my wife, y'all. I love you, babe. All right. So anyways, all right. I'm not trying to gross you all out. 8 on a Friday would work for Chad. Sorry, I didn't leave that up there long enough. 8 on a Friday would work. Clay, 8 on a Friday works perfect. All right. So I think we found our window. 8 o'clock, Friday nights. That's what we'll do. The only reason I moved it up today was the NFL draft. I wanted to be able to watch it. And I want you guys to be able to watch it. It's a big thing. It only comes around once a year. So I did it a little bit earlier so we can get this podcast done. And for those of you who like football, you can still watch it. So next week, we will be back at the 8 o'clock show. And we're going to have Clay for sure. We might have a third person on here, just kind of talking about growing as a smaller channel. So we're definitely going to have Clay on here next week. I'm so excited about that one. Man, we've been talking. Chad, your Bears are killing it. Your Bears are killing it. Caleb Williams and, what was it, a Dunze they got? What? And my Lions, that's my division, man. You guys got to stay bad for a little bit longer. Let us have some glory, please. Man, can't we have one decade where we could be on top? Like Green Bay fell off the rocker. We get 1 year where we're good. And then all of a sudden the Bears come back with this insane draft that's got me nervous. Playoff bound. I don't doubt it at all. I really do think when I'm looking at this division, I think it's going to be the Lions and the Bears coming out of this one. Caleb Williams is the real deal. Odunze. You got, DeAndre Swift for your running back. He used to be one of ours. He's the real deal. Great stuff. So, yeah, I love talking sports. Oh my gosh. My passion coming out of high school was to be on a sports talk show. You get on the radio. I want to be on the radio and be on a sports show. And, maybe I'll do a podcast someday of sports. I'd be happier than a pig in mud doing a sports podcast show, but I don't have the time to research it the way that it deserves to be researched to have a good content, to have a good show. Yeah, I was hoping the Lions are going to make it all the way too, but hey, we won more playoff games last year than they did my entire life at 46 years old. We doubled our playoff count, and we won them. So, hey, I'm happy. I'm happy. We had a good year. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited. There's a lot of good teams that are doing some good drafts this year. Atlanta Falcons, what are you doing? What are you doing? Kirk Cousins, and then you draft a quarterback number 1. You're not good enough to draft your next quarterback 4 years from now. You need people now. Anyways, all right. I don't want to lose anybody talking football. If you all love football, we can talk about it some more in another show. But I love you guys. Thank you so much, Clay, Chad. I love and I appreciate the support. All of you guys in here tonight. Eli, Spicy, who was it in here? Eli, Spicy Goldfish. Thank you, Clay Allen. Love you, man. You guys have just been absolutely awesome. And so next week, what is this? April 26th. So next week we're going to be doing our giveaway for this microphone right here. I said I was going to do it tonight, but of course, flat tires, all that stuff. I didn't have time to prepare and get my drawing and get all the names in the drawing. But the Tank 3 right here, $90 microphone. That's a picture of it on a box. You want to know what it really looks like? Looks like this guy right here. Solid metal, built like a tank by Fifine. XLR USB combo mic. Sounds great. The only knock on it, excuse me, still got the hiccups. The only knock on it is it's a $90 microphone. So at $90, you're getting awfully close to some really awesome microphones, like the Lewitt LCT 240 Pro, a microphone that my wife got me for Christmas. I love that. That's my second favorite microphone in my studio. Where is it? It's absolutely chef's kiss. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. This is my Lewitt LCT 240 Pro. And this was $99. It's a condenser microphone. Sounds absolutely amazing. The microphone itself is $99. The shock mount was like $26, or the pop filter was $26, and the shock mount I got on Walmart. The one they sell is $40. I got this on Walmart. Same size, does the same exact job for $11. I love finding deals and bargains. But anyway, that's my second favorite microphone. But that's $99. This is $90. So for $9 or more, you can get something like that. So a lot of people just save up a little extra more pennies to get the Rode Pod mic or other microphones up there in that $100 price range, the Samson Q9U, things like that. The Tank at $90, you're just putting yourself in some good company, but it's still a good mic. Like if you spend if you pick this one because you like the way it looks, you're going to love the way it sounds. It's just a great mic. And it's built to last. I don't know how long it's going to last as far as what's inside, but on the outside, it's not going to break on you. You drop it on your toe, you're going to have to go to the hospital because you broke your toe. So I'm going to give that away next week. We're going to give it away on the show to a lucky winner inside the United States. And I know there's people like Eli who lives in Canada. What I've decided to do, I get like affiliate commissions for Canada and Germany too, I believe. But I can't, when I redeem those points, the earnings, I can't buy anything on the Amazon in Canada and ship it to me in the United States. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, I'm going to do a giveaway. Once I get enough. Canada's expensive, Eli. Oh my gosh. I tried to do it this episode where I was going to do a giveaway for the K669D, $37 microphone in the United States. I have $40 in my Amazon earnings right now just sitting there. Can't do anything with it. I was like, I'll get it, whatever. Loaded it up on the Amazon website. It's like $52 or $57 in Canada. Like, what? Crazy. So, I'm going to do a giveaway, and what I'm going to do for Canada is I'm just going to go ahead and use my Amazon earnings and buy it on the Amazon site and ship it to you directly from Amazon to your address. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm only at the $40 mark, and as Eli will tell you, I can't do a whole lot with $40 in Canada right now. So another month. Let's do another month, and I'll be able to do a giveaway. So next month will be a Canada giveaway. But this month is the Fifine Tank 3. And that'll be next week. In the U.S., we'll do a drawing, and I will send it to you, and you will be a lucky winner for that. And then also I'm doing a giveaway for This mic right here, the AM6, Fafine sent me. Fafine sent me all kind of stuff to give away. Love that company. The AM6 gaming microphone. Nothing special for that. You don't have to be a member or anything for that or meet any kind of requirements. This is just for anybody. I'll also give this away on my next podcast, so they'll both be handed out. Now, I found out this week, Fafine had sent me the Tank 3 right here to give away to members only as a appreciation and a kind of help and congratulate me, make me feel good, saying thanks for getting to the point where we have members. And Clay, can I share this? Absolutely, you can share this. And Chad, Thursday's my birthday. Ooh, happy birthday. Maybe. I know you got that, but you got the K669T. But hey, so do I, and I got this too, and I love them both. So you could still win this one. And then you got them both, and you only had to pay for one. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, I found out from YouTube. They don't allow members only giveaways. It has to be available to all. So this is not a members only giveaway, but because we are still celebrating members only, if you are members only and you pay $2.99, then you get 3 entries. Everybody's going to get an entry. Everybody's name will be in the bucket that wants to enter during the live stream. It'll be open to all. But for every person who is a member, you will get that many more entries depending on the dollars, the level that you're in. So if you're $2.99, $1.99, you'll get 2 entries on top of the one. $4.99. And thank you, Bronson from Audio Hotline, for pointing this out in his podcast. I reached out to him. He's like, man, this is what I do. And so that's what he's doing. So I'm going to take a page from his book. It's like, you can't do the members only giveaway, but we can give you added chances to win. You have a greater chance to win if you're a member. So if you're a member, you get more entries. And then my daughter's going to just pull the name out of a bowl and I'll have it sent to you. So there we go. We're closing on this note. NFL draft time. I want to go watch it. I'm sure you do too. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys next Friday. I'm working on 2 reviews right now. Hopefully I'll get them up. I got one up this week, and I'll have another one posted on Tuesday, and hopefully another one on Thursday next week, and then we're going live on Friday. So share the word, spread the love. I appreciate you guys. Remember, as Clay always says on his channel, boost the tribe, man. We're in this together. We are a family, and we got to lift each other up. YouTube is not going to really help you until you get over 1,000 subs. And even then, you still got to do a little bit of work. So it's on us to lift each other up and get our stuff out there. And I'm not complaining about YouTube. My wife says, it sounds like you're bashing YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm so thankful for YouTube. And I kind of appreciate the fact that, they don't just help anybody, because if you get to 1,000 subs, you've already shown you've got the work, the dedication. If you've been doing it a year consistently, you've already shown the dedication. So, yeah, work hard, put the grind in, and we'll help each other get to 1,000. If we see good stuff, we're going to post it. That's what I do. That's my community tab is going to be from now on. It's your guys' podcasts, stuff that goes up that's really interesting that I think people need to see, people need to watch. I'm going to put it on my community channel. I'm going to post it because it's our new TV, and I'm tired of watching all this hate stuff that's on there, this negativity and destroying stuff, man. It's toxic. I want to feel good. I want to laugh. I want to be silly. I want to feel like I got support, like I got a family with me, man. Like we're in this. Like I'm going into next week knowing that I got brothers and sisters in this space, and we're going to survive together. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. Let me finish out these comments before I go. But yeah, Chad, happy birthday. Happy birthday. That made no sense. I'm out of order, so I don't remember when you made that. But if it's about the Lions, it makes no sense. I know, it makes no sense. But, oh no, you're the Falcons. Yeah, I bet you that's what you're talking about. It made no sense what they did. It made no sense. It says here I'm still missing a comment. What comment have I not done? I want to make sure everybody's comments get posted. Did I forget anything? I don't see anything. It says there's another one. I want to be able to post you guys' stuff. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. Talking about the Falcons when I said that made no sense. Absolutely. Made no sense. All right. With that being said, I'm out. Great podcast. I got to page 1 of my notes. And I had 5 pages of stuff to talk about because I was so worried that I wouldn't have anything to talk about. I'd run out of things to say. But as my wife says, I never stop talking. So good stuff. Good stuff. That's all I got. There we go. Thank you so much for joining this episode of Level Up. 1 hour and 44 minutes. That's insane. That's like Joe Rogan territory. You guys are awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. Until I see you guys in the next video, please don't forget, you guys are already subscribed. You're already subscribed. You've seen this channel. If you're not a member, man, don't forget to become a member. You guys get to see certain videos. Every now and then I post a video members can only watch. And again, for the giveaways, you get greater chances for these giveaways. And Fafine is not done with the Tank 3. Next month will be another one. But next month's winner, Fafine has said that the winner will get to pick their own mic. This week is the Tank 3. But the next winner will get to pick whatever Fafine mic they want. Whatever mic you want. So, all right, Harry, good night. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Okay, yeah, that's cringy. Love you guys. Peace out. See you in the next one.